shaking their fists. Bonnie and Mandy, make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie Scalisi and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers, Wildflowers.
That, yeah.
This is what you see.
Welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and this is my beautiful co-host,
Bonnie Scalisi. I almost forgot my name. Hi, everybody.
This is episode 6 of the Wildflowers, and I am, it's September 23rd. We have a great guest in the studio audience with us tonight, but we're not going to get into that just yet. Subscribe to Mandy Jones, the comedian. You could find not only the Wildflowers on YouTube, but you could find the show me and my husband do every Friday, the Calamity Jones Hour, which is totally different because me and Bonnie are, cutesy and shit, and then Glenn and I go live, and it's a completely different experience. So, Bonnie, you want to say hi? Some people are in the room.
Yeah, already we have a whole bunch of people tuning in. Your husband is watching.
Oh, Glenn.
So,
how
hi,
you
Glenn.
doing?
I miss you,
Thank
Glenn.
you.
Andrew Ferdner is watching. How are you? Joan Krupe Asher.
Friendner, she
How
always
are
fucking
you?
butchers that one.
Greg the Flippo. I just saw you last night on someone else's, Kristen Tinsley's podcast. So hi, Greg the Flippo from Florida. Michele Asta is saying, hey, ladies. Yeah, Michele Asta was our guest last week with her very sexy co-host,
Natalie Vargas, who the four of us are gonna get together again because the four of us had so much fun.
Oh, it was so fun. And Bill Hansen is watching. Hi. David Lange is watching. He's saying hi, Bonnie and Mandy.
Oh, hair looks great, Mandy. Thanks, Mom.
Mary Underhill is watching. That's your mom. So, do we have any more business that we have to talk to?
Yeah, no more housekeeping stuff. I think we're good. Bonnie, didn't you have one thing you wanted to promote for a friend?
Oh, I don't know the details because I didn't have a chance to look it up.
We will post it.
But Kristen Tinsley is going to be co-bartender at Coasters this Saturday. I'm having another party for Teresa Farrell because her birthday was just recently. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday, go to Coasters and support Coasters.
And we'll put that on the Wildflowers link. Like we promote anything, we always try to put the link so it's accessible after the fact. You don't have to rewind. But yeah, Bonnie, you want to start? Oh, well, we didn't. Let's do the topic first, and then we'll introduce our beautiful guest.
Okay, so our topic is going to be your favorite TV shows. And we thought we'd start from when you were a kid, what was your favorite TV show, and work up. And if we have to make it a two-parter, we'll make it a two-parter at another time. Thank you, Greg DeFlippo. He's saying, hi, Bonnie. Hi, Mandy. Looking lovely as usual. Thank you, Greg. You're always so nice. So that's our topic tonight. So start thinking of your favorite TV shows when you were a kid. And we're going to get right to our guest because our guest, I'm so excited to have her on. She's a comedian, and she hosts regularly at any of the 3 Governor's Comedy Clubs, the Brokerage, Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, and McGuire's. And she performs at New York City and in the tri-state area, and she's so funny and so sweet, which is really rare in this business. The very, very funny Michele Fox.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Well, you made this completely fun. You were like, let's wear pajamas.
Yeah,
we were like,
it's
oh
your
my
idea.
God.
I thought it was your idea.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally don't wear pajamas.
I don't wear pajamas.
So you guys are just trying to come in the nude?
It's like Halloween. It was an excuse to be slutty.
I love it.
No, it was fun. It's totally fun.
So Brian La Poea?
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
I'm Mandy and friends, and I want to say that's who we worked with at Staten Island Comedy. Please confirm that, Brian. But you met him. Remember when we had to go and make sure our names were spelled right for the comedy?
Yes, you have a better memory than me. I can't remember what I did an hour ago. So,
So we're so happy to have you, Michelle.
And Michelle is so nice.
Thank
She
you.
bought wine and she bought these very exotic phallic lollipops, which we will be
Cheers.
sharing later.
Cheers. Here's to
I love
swimming
it.
with bow-legged women.
So before we get into our favorite TV shows, I just want to ask you a couple of questions about your experiences at Governor's, because that's how I know you from.
Yeah.
I was actually in the audience watching when you were the host for Robert Klein, who I watched as a kid, and I really liked him. You know, I had his record. You know, a lot of people watching who are young, they don't even know what a record is, but I had Robert Klein's record. I know that you co-hosted for him, and I also saw you with who else did I see you with? I didn't see you, but I wanted to see you with Andrew Dice Clay. I actually couldn't
God,
go.
That was amazing.
So I want to hear about those two and anyone else you want to talk about.
Okay. Robert Klein that was amazing. That was like, he's such a comedy legend, and I couldn't believe I had that opportunity. I was so fortunate. And I say that the best part of it, of hosting for him, was getting to hang out with him in the green room, because he was very generous. He was kind. He knew that I was pretty new and I was pretty nervous, and he, you know, really calmed me down easily. And then told stories about, he told stories about Rodney Dangerfield. He told stories about the old days when he was friends with Alan Funt, and he told all kinds of stories. And, you know, to someone like me, I'm such a comedy junkie. I was riveted. So, so it was great.
You know,
he
when
was friends with everybody.
I was just watching. I love Saturday Night Live, and I was just watching the other day. Sometimes I watch clips that they put on. You know, you go to YouTube and you find them. And I don't know if you guys remember this one, but
really?
you go. It had all the very first cast, and it was the scene when they're going cheeseburger, 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 and guess who comes up to the counter and wants a ham and some eggs? Robert Klein. And he was so young, and like they didn't introduce him or anything. This was like when he started his career, and I had just seen him at Governor's with you. I'm like, look at Robert Klein. Like I didn't know he was in that scene. I'm like, that's Robert Klein in that scene. So there's a history of stuff that he's been in that like you just discover when you're like looking at stuff, you know. So that must have been really cool. So before you tell us some more about that, Bruno, who's one of our really big
and happy
supporters.
belated birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Bruno. I hope you had a great one.
That was the other day.
Happy birthday, Bruno.
And Robin DeVito is one of our favorites.
Oh, here's a good excuse for Bruno. Take that Roblox, girl. Come on. Me and Bonnie got like nothing on.
Okay.
Nice, Michelle.
That's for you, Bruno.
Bruno, that's
happy birthday.
Your belated birthday gift.
It's 100 degrees in here, so the truth is,
yeah,
it's
Zach,
not
that's
take
you're
that
on
to
that.
convince me. It
Can you
is
turn
so
on?
hot.
Can you turn on
Just
the air?
open these windows for them.
Africa hot.
And Robin DeVito, who we love, she's a really good friend of ours and a great supporter. She said that she saw you. She saw you at the brokerage once. So she knows who you are. And my boyfriend is watching, and he says, they're already telling me about the shows. We're going to get to our favorite TV shows in a minute. Nancy Weems is watching. Felix, how are you? Felix is watching. And he likes to call us the Chicklets. So, okay, so now why don't you tell us about Andrew Dice Clay? Because and Bill Hansen is saying you're on fire.
Andrew Dice Clay is, you know,
I love his nursery rhymes.
He's amazing, and that's like growing up in my time when I grew up. A little feather, but growing up in my time when I grew up, Andrew Dice Clay was Elvis for me, you know. So having that opportunity was, you know, off the hook, lucky and amazing,
and it was in the new circumstances, right? You were not inside with him; you were outside.
We were outside.
Could you tell us a little bit about that? I have not seen that. I haven't been there since March. Yeah.
Well, okay. When we were open outside, at Governor's. It was amazing. It was different. It was different. It was, first of all, it was there was a plexiglass in front, and the audience is further back, and it is a bit of a narrow way.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging in terms of getting used to the room and waiting, you know, to hear laughter travel back and things like that. But it was wonderful. And in these circumstances, comedy al fresco was perfect. And working with Dice Clay, like I said, was a dream come true. He's very, very, he's very germophobic, and he was very nervous about COVID, so he really wore his mask majority of the time.
Did you have the mask when he was performing?
He walked on the stage actually with a mask. And he, it was part of his routine on what he did. And I changed the microphone. I wiped down the microphone and actually replaced the microphone for him. But he was like the first few days, first day maybe, that he was, more reclusive. He was actually in the green room in Governor's. He would come out for a couple of seconds here and there, and then he stayed more reclusive. But as the second day came, he came out more. He was around. He was extremely friendly, and it was just lovely. And I also had the luck to work with Dennis Rooney, who middled for him, and he loves Dennis. And so
I was on a show with Dennis
everyone had a great time.
Yeah.
He's terrific.
Yeah,
I love
he's
Dennis,
a very nice person.
and his new stuff, I think, is phenomenal. Not that his old stuff wasn't, but I love all his new stuff. So it's great.
So starting with you, let's get to this topic, because you said people are already throwing them out. So I want to hear, you said SNL really inspired you, but what was like from when you were young?
Actually,
what was your like go-to?
No, we
it?
had that
No, I
conversation.
said it.
It
You
was
said
me, Bonnie.
Sorry.
We'll take this up later in the pillow.
You guys
fight.
were both
I wasn't paying attention.
inspired by SNL. No, but like Bonnie said, like starting as far back as you can remember, what made you laugh? What made you drawn to comedy?
To comedy specifically, I guess it would all start for every girl. It all starts with I Love Lucy. And it goes from there.
That's the correct answer.
So
I forgot that
That
one,
is
yes.
the right answer.
yeah. So, Lucy.
So yeah, okay.
And then I guess from there, everything from, watching cartoons. I would watch cartoons when I was little, and if they were funny, I was totally
They were
into
very violent back then.
I still love cartoons. Are you kidding?
There was one with like Penelope Pit Stop, and it was like Stop
I
the
do
Pigeon,
remember that.
and she was like, hi, and I just loved that. And I used to love to imitate I love to do the voices, and I love to imitate, and that's
You want to do a character for us right now?
I would if you want me to.
Yeah, I just asked.
Okay, you want a character from? I could do Rosie Perez. You want me to do Rosie?
Yeah, let's do it.
And White Man Can't Jump. She was like, Billy, you're so stupid. You lost the fucking money.
I love it. So, thank you, Robin. But she's talking about our sexy outfits, and Bruno is. I'm sorry, I pronounced Andrew's last name wrong. Andrew Flem.
Frem as in phlegm. Vendor.
Sorry about that.
Andrew Flemder. Okay, got it.
So my boyfriend is saying, and I agree with him, that The Little Rascals, even though it's 90 years old, was one of my favorites. His favorite. We watched it the other day. There's just scenes that you could just watch it over and over again. They're freaking hysterical.
Oh, well, that's I Love Lucy. I have it. The
I
box
Love Lucy,
set, and
too.
I could watch those episodes a million times. It's the best. That's how you know that's the test of a good joke. Is if every time you hear it, like when I had Evan over on the Calamity Jones Hour, I was like, Evan, people can say whatever they want about you, but you have jokes that every time I've heard them, no matter how many times I've heard them, they make me laugh. So that's a good joke.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I could watch the same comedian over and over, and I don't get bored of their routine if they're
funny.
funny.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And what's fun about being into comics like that, then you get to see, what did they throw in that was a little different? What was new? What was, it's exciting.
So a lot of people are liking our outfits. So thank you.
Yeah. So that's all Michelle.
Even the women are like, Nancy Weems is saying we look pretty tonight. Felix made a nice remark about how we look very attractive, ladies. Hubba hubba. So Andrew said nursery rhymes when I was growing up sounded a little scary. I think he's talking about Dice. If you ask me, when the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Here we go, loopity-loo. Yeah, they are kind of terrifying. The old nursery rhymes. So the fact that Dice would take them and just make them so ridiculous, I think
it's brilliant.
It's so freaking. I've never seen anything like it. It was really, really funny.
Everything is scary when you think about the Disney movies, how scary, and all the cartoons. They would beat the crap out of each other in the cartoon.
Mm.
So
Just
it's
recently,
so funny.
I took Brandon. I guess it wasn't recently. Maybe it was 2 years ago or 3 years. There was a movie, Maleficent,
Oh yeah, I took my daughter to see that.
and Brandon
Angelina
was
Jolie.
terrified. Yes, Brandon was terrified of that movie when she would become angry. He literally like hid his eyes like this, and I wanted to see the end. I didn't make the movie. But I don't want to get. I don't want to diverge off of into movies. So we're talking about TV shows. So we have the Little Rascals. What about the rest of you guys? You know, nobody's telling me what their favorite television shows are.
Well, I grew up totally on Brady Bunch.
Your mom
Brady
loved the
Bunch is
Honeymooners.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
because that was
The
my
Brady
Amazing.
grandpa loved the Honeymooners. You know, so.
Let's talk about the Brady Bunch because that's Mandy's favorites on my list too.
Wait, you want to know what about the Brady Bunch?
Love
They
it.
had a pajama party. Remember? They had a pajama party, and it was Marcia had all her friends, and then Greg put the itching powder in the sleeping bags.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
Remember that one?
I do remember that. I remember.
And I thought I knew them all, honestly.
I think they should start running that over again.
I don't think
you
they
don't
ever
see it
stopped.
anywhere.
TV Land.
I can't find it anywhere. But my boyfriend and I were having a talk about the really old TV shows. They all seem to have the wife, killed off. Like,
Well, that's all the Disney movies. There's no
Yeah,
moms. The moms are all dead.
but the funny thing about the Brady Bunch was they each killed off each other's spouses.
Yeah, and then they
And
don't
then
like
they
they
got
never
together.
existed.
Yeah.
Well, the best line ever is the first episode of the Brady Bunch. They're getting married. It's actually a marriage. The
Oh,
pilot is
I
actually,
remember that.
and
Tiger the dog,
he
right?
calls because they're at different houses, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just so stressed out, honey. Like, I don't even know." And she's like, "Why don't you take a tranquilizer?" He goes, "I already have." She goes, "Well, then why don't you take another one?" And me and my sister, like to this day, I can call my sister right now. Why don't you take a tranquilizer? Well, why don't you take another one? Like fucking Carol Brady. That was fucking her advice.
I have to see that. I never saw that. I never saw the pilot. But I was talking about my boyfriend was helping me last night with some
with your favorite movie list.
no. I have a lot of lawyer stuff, and he's been so awesome helping me with this. And there was something about I had to write a figure in, and the number was 7. And I just want to know if you guys know the reference. So I go 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. There you go.
Monica.
And he had never heard of that. So I'm like, you've got to see this. So
I don't know friends like
Really?
that.
Okay. So anybody who doesn't know what we're referencing to in 777, Google Friends 7 and you'll find out.
Greg says, "How about the Love Boat?" And Ed wants us to all stand up, please. No, Ed, we are not the real Slim Shadys. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the show and keep watching.
And we are going to finally reveal the stupid big announcement.
We're fucking done with the big announcement.
Because I keep forgetting to reveal it. No matter, even if we have a second left, we're getting rid of this big announcement.
Yeah, we're gonna burn it.
We're going to reveal it at the end of the show, 100%. We're not dragging it on to the next show.
So just keep watching.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh yeah, you're fucking.
I hope I'm part of it.
You are part of it. So the Love Boat, I have to say, Greg, I did watch that show, but I thought it was kind of stupid.
All the shows are stupid.
But fuck your Love Boat.
Wait, what about like Gilligan's Island? I used to
I
love
love Gilligan's Island. Are you
I
kidding?
loved Ginger.
Oh my god, yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah, the boa.
She was girly.
Yes.
Marianne was fucking
Marianne rocked also.
Yeah.
She rocked it. But you know, like I think is funny is that like nobody's named Thurston anymore. Wouldn't it be fun to go
Thurston
out,
Howell the
introduce your kid and be like, this is my son Thurston.
It's so provocative, Thurston.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know anybody named Thurston. And Greg DeFlippo is saying Taxi. Yes, I love Taxi.
I love Taxi. That's on my list.
There's a scene in Taxi that is so freaking funny. The guy who's the druggy guy who was also Jim. He's taking a driving test, right? And every time it comes up in my memories, I share this again. And he doesn't know the answers. So the other guy is standing at the counter, and he's like, "What do you do at a red light?" And the guy goes, "Slow down." And he goes, "What do you do at a red light?" He goes, "Slow down." And he goes, "What do?" It was the funniest scene I've ever seen. I almost peed in my pants. It was the funniest thing. But Yeah, that's a good one. Ed is saying to you, Michelle, that boa doesn't match your outfit. Please remove it.
So.
It does too. He's just trying to get you to remove it. Don't listen to him.
So.
Oh, Felix, Bewitched. Bewitched.
Oh
And
my
was great.
god, Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. So hot.
I used to look like Tabitha when I was a little girl.
Oh,
I have
Tabitha was so cute.
Pictures of Tabitha, and I looked.
I
just
think your
like
daughter looks like Tabitha too.
Well, a brunette version, I guess. I had the blonde hair.
Face, the
I
face.
would if I could do that with my nose.
And speaking of that, what's the one with the genie? I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
Right. Remember Peter Bales? That's the famous story
Yes,
about Peter Bales.
yes.
You have to have him on for him to tell that story. That's not my story to tell.
I definitely will. We'll definitely have him on. He was supposed. I had him scheduled before COVID. He was going to be a guest. Joe Pontel. I had a whole bunch of people scheduled, and then COVID hit, and I haven't rescheduled anybody except Richie Byrne. He's going to be next week.
Wait, time out. My dad figured out how to watch the fucking show.
No!
Hey,
Full jokes.
Dad. Hey, Dad. Welcome to the fucking show.
We've been. How many podcasts is this?
A lot. I've been podcasting for over a year and a half, and my dad can only figure out Craigslist. He only wants to buy
Is his
cars
name
online.
Paul Jones?
That's it. He's on.
Welcome, Paul Jones.
Dad,
Thank
thank
you.
you for tuning into the most scantily clad episode we had yet.
He made it a point to come into this one.
Yeah, for fucking Michelle. Awesome, Dad. Cool.
So people keep saying sexy, #sexy. Greg wants to know, is the big announcement Michelle is getting a divorce and wants to marry him? Well, you know
How
what?
did you know?
How did you know? Taz is joining us. Hi, Taz. Taz is an artist who is just amazing, and she can draw things. And let's see. Greg DeFlippo is saying, yes, Daisy Duke in the shorts.
Yeah, the
speaking
Duke
of
that's on
that,
my list.
that is that a show that you liked?
I loved that show.
I've
loved
never
it.
seen it.
It was like Daisy Duke was the cousin, and she was so cool. But then the two guys, Bo and Luke, were like they were hot, and that was my first time I ever wrote a fan letter. I wrote it to John Schneider, and my friend wrote a letter to him, and he sent her back an autographed picture, and then I wrote the letter. Nothing.
Ooh,
I didn't
no,
do anything. Yeah.
no.
I was like, he sucks.
That
Yeah.
sucks. But that reminds me of a different show that was one of my favorites, and I know it's a lot of men's favorites, but it really changed television for women.
What show?
Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah,
that
no,
was
it's true,
awesome.
it's
And I
true.
loved Farrah Fawcett. I was like such a huge fan of Farrah Fawcett. And I
They
would
were
try
all
to get
fabulous.
my hair. I would get up at 5 a.m. and I had the Farrah Fawcett haircut. And it
Sure.
would take hours to get your hair like that. And I was in high school, and I would just try to like get my hair like that. And
Same. I
Yeah,
was there
yeah.
with you, sister.
And-
I loved that show.
It
They
was
had the
just
best
like-
outfits
had-
and everything.
it was just basically like a beauty show, but they were detectives.
They were awesome.
Do you know Charlie's Angels?
Yeah, and we could do some Charlie's
Well,
Angels
they
shots
have. They remade
after
it.
this.
They remade it. So everyone
they remade
knows
it a bunch of times, yes.
Yeah.
But nothing
Um,
was as good as the original.
Well, what about Mary Tyler Moore? Because
Oh,
that.
Mary
Yes.
Tyler
Same.
Moore, yes.
Well, I mean, but I have to say I love Laverne and Shirley more.
Oh, I love Laverne. Yeah, but I like when she throws her hat, and that song is so
And
good.
that hair, I know. I was a brunette for a little while. I just thought that I would pull that off, and it didn't work.
I love you as a blonde.
And then Valerie Harper?
Rhoda.
It became
Oh
like,
yeah,
she was a very
that was a whole.
Amazing.
That was one of my questions for you. Was like, what's your favorite like spin-off or
There's
show?
So many spin-offs.
That's a hard one.
I guess Laverne and Shirley are off of Happy Days, but I want to be more original. Let me think of something more original to say than that.
And my dad's saying, "Hi, honey, who's the new chick?"
Oh, so for those
Hey,
of you
Dad.
for those of you who are tuning in late, our guest is Michele Fox, and she is a regular at Governor's Comedy Club.
Yeah, it's not only
All
is she
three of
beautiful,
them.
she's funny as fuck, guys.
She's funny.
Mhm.
She's sweet. She really treats people with respect and dignity. And in this business of comedy, there's a lot of people that don't treat each other well, and she just rises above it. And she's just one of the most in my, except for Mandy, of course.
Oh, of course, I know.
One of the people that I have the most respect for in comedy.
Same. Like
Well,
And so,
love you guys.
thank you so much
Please.
for being on our show.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Of course. And one of the things is like Bonnie and I, there's so many people that we're friends with that we have to get on the show,
Right.
but we're not going to have anyone on the show that's about negativity. We got on the phone about like what we want to talk about, what our vision is, and you're like, I love it. I love everything about it. Bring everybody together. We're not going to talk. We're not going to divide the room. We're going to talk about nostalgic things. The fucking Brady Bunch. When Greg had those cigarettes, we were all there.
Yeah.
We all got in trouble with those cigarettes in those pockets. We all fucking felt that.
Do you guys remember the Brady Bunch movie that they made?
Oh my God, are you kidding? When they're actually having like sex, it's great.
Like the funny thing is that they were so out of they still had their values of the old days.
Except they
all
were
around
incestuous.
Yeah, why was that? Like, Mandy, I don't know. We maybe watched a different movie.
No, there's like they're splitting the room, and it's Greg it's Marcia, but it's Ben Stiller's wife.
Yes, I saw that live. There was a show they did off Broadway.
Oh well,
They called it the Real
really?
Brady Bunch. They called it the Real Brady Bunch.
because that was a
And it was
movie,
amazing.
and then it ended up being a movie or a movie after, either or. But yeah, no, they was totally like they were
So
making fun
funny.
of like how weird that was, that they're like, oh, we're gonna split the room, like. Meanwhile, because they're not actually related, but
I heard
It's
Greg
like-
had sex with the mom, Florence Henderson.
ooh, Greg,
Yeah.
get it,
Yeah.
get it,
He
you
had
dog.
Two of them, and Marsha. I think they hooked up too.
Ooh.
Peter and Jan hooked up.
And we're
Well, you know what? Technically, they were they weren't
Peter
even
and
really
Jan.
related to each other.
Technically, they could.
technically
Yeah.
they were just a TV family, and they can smoke.
Fuck whoever they want. Michelle Aston is telling us a very Brady sequel. I think that was the name.
Oh,
of it.
that's it. Yes, a very
Thank you,
very
Michelle.
Brady sequel. It is a true fucking thing.
I like how Ed chimes in. Michelle Aston is hot. Like Ed is telling her. Ed is very equal opportunity.
She is hot.
She
And
is.
Last
Oh,
week
yeah.
on your show, I listened to your show and I loved what you said. You said, we are women that are for women. We promote other women. We don't tear other women down. There is enough room for all of us. And the more we come up together, the stronger it is for all of us.
Absolutely.
Right. If
And
you
the
were
better
a
for all of
Caddy
us.
Poe, you would not be invited to be on our
Thank
show. Honestly,
I
it's
am
God's honest
for
truth,
women
because
and promoting women.
and
Yes,
like we
yes.
didn't know Natalie, but we knew Michelle. We had never met. She vouched for her. And when Bonnie, we were doing we weren't using Facebook Live. We were using fucking YouTube. And Bonnie was having a near meltdown because part of our show that we
can't see
love
the
is that you
comments.
could see the room.
And Dan Romano was just tuning in. Hi,
And these
Dan.
girls were
Dan.
like keeping us cool, keeping it positive, keeping it, the whole time. And it was just like, we all just clicked, and it was gravy, and that's what we need. Because they could have let us demise. They could have let us, crumble in front of, but they didn't. They were like, they totally kept it light.
And I love your quote. I don't.
Oh,
hope I
what
don't-
is it? Let's hear it.
I loved it. You go, if I'm gonna take your crown and straighten your crown for
Oh,
you.
that's not
That
me.
was
That's
great.
That's not me. I've heard that somewhere else, but it's
Oh,
the truth.
well, I never heard it before.
But be the
from you.
kind of woman that will straighten another woman's
That's-
crown. It's that you're not going to
Absolutely.
say, "Oh, your fucking crown's fucking tilted." You just quietly straighten each. We're there for each other.
Right.
100%.
We don't.
Yeah.
You don't have
exactly.
to be jealous and try to tear someone else down.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's crabs in a bucket, guys. It's not how you get through. That's not how you get we get to the top and you bring people up with you. You don't
Absolutely.
fucking step on
We
people.
have fun, and we're doing this because we have fun.
Right, and when we
And-
stop having fun, you won't see us anymore. But until then, we're not going anywhere.
That's right. So Dan Romano.
Dan, you're going to be on the show. I messaged you. You tell me what date you want.
Dan, you have to lock down that date.
Just tell me what date you want. It's yours.
And Greg the
but-
People was talking about Johnny Carson. That's another one.
Oh,
I-
yeah. Oh, my
he was
God.
amazing.
If I
I was
could be Johnny Carson.
I was a big Johnny Carson
Same.
because I have insomnia, and I was, even as a kid, I was up. I had a little black and white television set because I'm that old, and I paid for that television set myself with my paper route of delivering freaking penny savers.
That's why you're fucking have character, because your parents made you work for
Yeah,
your
That's
shit.
so
so
I
true.
bought the black and white television set, and my parents would tell me to go to bed, and I would turn the TV on very low, and because I couldn't fall asleep, and I would watch Johnny Carson, and I love Johnny Carson. Like, it's just he had the animals on and the things were hanging. I mean, it was just a very, very calm, peaceful thing to watch at night. Like now the shows, they just upset me. I can't watch them anymore. But we're not gonna go there. Paul, do you know who Paul Jones is?
Yeah, that's my dad still.
Oh, sorry. Paul Jones is saying Greg was nailing the mom. That's hilarious. All right.
Well, my dad likes to watch the Brady Bunch just to look at the cars, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, fucking Greg got ripped off. Like he bought a fucking whatever for however much, like in that day."
That's part of Mandy's routine. Is her dad is a lot in the routine. So I don't know if you should be honored by that, or you should.
No, my dad loves it. Are you kidding? My dad loves it. He's like, yeah, my daughter's making jokes about me.
Do you hear ice cream bells?
Oh yeah, they come around at this hour.
I was like,
yeah,
they ice cream.
They fucking hustle in this neighborhood. They come by. They'll come again at like 10:30. I'm not kidding.
Crazy.
That's great.
Little
people must be buying it, or they wouldn't come.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm fucking out there sometimes.
I've never heard that before. Oh, they don't come by my neighborhood. I don't know. And so Ed is saying, by the way, I have the over on Mandy's use of the word "fuck" tonight at 50. Looks like I'm gonna win some cash. Really? I didn't even notice you said that word. Honestly.
I didn't hear it.
Because it's so just part of me.
Do you know
and
Corey Marie?
Yeah, that's my homegirl. She's saying, "I love you, Corey. I love you so much. I love you, Corey." She's fucking amazing. And shout out to Katara and Kano and Athena, the fucking canines in my life right now. Thank you for reminding me, Corey.
So Ed is saying we should have Andrew Ferdinand dude on our show. He's funny. I don't even know what Andrew is fun.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. You read our show. I'm like, our show, Ed. When is the royal we? Okay, no, it was your show. Is what he said.
And David Lang just saying we once had a black and white TV in my parents' bedroom, so I only got to see the late night shows when I had sleepovers at friends' homes. Saturday Night Live was always a must-see with the old crew.
Yeah,
I agree. The old crew, Bill Murray, Chevy Chase,
Gilda Radner,
Jane Curtin. Oh my God, I could watch Eddie Murphy. I could watch any of those.
I was obsessed.
Your friend is saying, I love Corey. I love that I remind you of canines. That's funny.
Because you're my dog, girl.
So I didn't even get to my own list, but I'm going to let Michelle go since she's the guest. What's another television show that you liked?
Top of my list, I have, let's see. You know what I thought was so bad, but it was so good because it was so bad? Mork and Mindy.
Somebody said that on here.
So bad, but it
who
was so
said
good.
Mork and Mindy?
Well, that was Robin Williams, right?
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
It was
he
so
was nuts. And that was actually a spinoff off of Happy Days.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
So is that your spinoff that you want to choose?
I think I'll use that answer.
She's
got a final answer.
She's double dipping.
Or the Jeffersons off of
oh my God, I love the Jeffersons. I wasn't allowed to watch Jeffersons. Oh my God, All in the Family. When she gets stuck up in the closet, do you remember that?
She was pregnant and stuck in the closet.
And he fucking held at gunpoint. That was a scary fucking episode. That still fucking shakes
Greg
my
DeFlippo was saying, Mandy, for the love of God, don't suck on that lollipop on air. Greg,
she bought these for my fucking ass to fuck up with that.
Ronnie Welsh is tuning in. Hi, Ronnie. Do you know who Ronnie is?
Maybe. I don't want to say no because he's gonna be like, I went to high school with you.
Okay, so hi, Ronnie Welsh. Welcome.
Hey, Ronnie.
So,
because honestly, it might be Ron. Honestly, Ronnie, are you my sister's best friend from high school?
All right.
I want to say that's true.
We don't want to say. Speaking of funny shows, Andrew is saying, speaking of funny shows, The Flintstones is a cartoon.
Oh, the Flintstones fucking rock.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be live action. History of Television. That was supposed to be live action, and then they did it as a cartoon, The Flintstones.
Really?
Yes, and that's why it was always so like adult like.
Yeah, so
they probably figured it was easier to do the scenes if we fucking destroy it.
Well, they had so many animals that were driving and cutting the hedges.
Like, they were like, we don't have the budget for this. We're gonna have to destroy it.
Yeah, that reminds me. So Michael, my boyfriend, is saying, South Park is the modern All in the Family, because they couldn't say all the racist, crazy stuff they say as real people, so they made it a cartoon. And I'm Jewish, and you're Jewish, and there's a character on there. I had never watched this. I watched. Michael had me
You
watch
never
it.
saw South Park?
I didn't watch a lot of South Park.
Oh,
but
South
Michael,
Park's the best.
It is, and he showed me some scenes where there's this one kid who's very anti-Semitic, and he goes, "And the Jew," and I was laughing my ass off because I was like, how could they get away with it? Like, they could get away with it because it was a cartoon.
Right. Well, yeah, they have the devil in that show. They have Hitler. They have
they have
everybody in that
everything.
show because they can get away with it because they joke about all the political stuff that's going on, but they mask it in a way that it's just a metaphor. That show is brilliant.
It's so brilliant.
It's satire. It's absolute satire, and they those guys will throw an episode out the window if something happens on like a Thursday and like they're gonna go for Monday. They're like, we need to fucking write a new show because we need to be more current.
and
they'll throw out like a almost done episode to be like, no, this is what we're talking about this week.
That's why it's so good.
Now, Greg is saying Father Jim, so it says that Jim Ray is watching, but I don't see him.
Father Jim,
I
all
don't
hail
see
Father Jim. Nancy Weems, thank you for tuning in tonight. Me and Nancy have been doing a little love affair, sending some music back and forth to one another. She was at the Trail of Tears. That was pretty cool.
She's so nice. Andrew Ferdner, I'm saying his name wrong.
Fremder.
I'll never get it. Andrew, so just give up trying.
With an error.
Because I'm Jewish too. Sometimes I use my mask as a yarmulke, and it always stays on my head because of the ear straps. That's good, Andrew. I like that. I don't see that Jim Ray is watching, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Taz is maybe just resting in peace.
I don't know.
Barney Rubble, what an actor, is what my dad sang.
Yeah, Barney Rubble from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have one, Mandy?
What else did I love? I had a list here, if I were organized. Oh, you know what? Gotta go with Scooby Doo. One of my favorites for sure. And they had a lot of celebrity. They had a lot of celebrity, cameos on that show.
Really?
Yeah, they would have. There was like the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, the fucking Scooby Doo's the shit.
They had everybody on there.
Yeah, if you knew you made it when you were on fucking Scooby Doo, because they would have like baseball players and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Boxers.
100%.
So Michelle, do you have another TV show on
That
your list?
influenced you.
I'm sorry, I'm finishing up your bottle.
Go
Michelle
for it,
is
girl.
so nice. She bought this bottle.
I always go in the fridge.
Go for it.
That'll be your job.
I think a lot of the cartoons were interesting. I think that like Beavis and Butthead when they first came out on
Beavis and
MTV.
Butthead, are you kidding? Breaking the law.
Beavis and Butthead.
I honestly still I feel like Beavis and Butthead a lot of the time because like my friends and I are just so stupid. I'll just be like,
I love Beavis and Butthead. That was
so
like
funny.
I was in high school when that came out, and that was like, yeah, that's how
They reviewed the videos, and they hated videos that told stories. They were like, it sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Yeah, and they also the guy who wrote that, I was gonna say Judd Apatow, but that's wrong. Mike Judd, thank you. Mike Judd. He did King of the Hill, but that was a character on Beavis and Butthead. Like they ruined his shed, and then he became Hank Hill, that character that they fucked with on Beavis and Butthead. And King of the Hill is amazing. If anybody hasn't watched that, that's like the most wholesome.
I haven't watched it, but I want to.
Oh my god, it's so wholesome and it's so great, and it's like it really develops like as you watch it. It's a cartoon, but it develops like the characters. You get to know them and love them, and their stories. Oh, it's great.
My boyfriend just outed me.
Uh-oh.
He goes, Bonnie's a faggot and loves Little House on the Prairie. I do. I love Little House on the Prairie. It's one of my favorite shows. With Nellie and Laura Ingraham, and they always taught a lesson, and everybody, it was like everything was all wrapped up in a nice bow at the end. I do watch it every time I see you come on. But one of your friends brought up, I'm trying to remember which friend, he brought up Corey Marie brought up Lost in Space.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
I have to disagree with you on Lost in Space. I know it was a popular show.
Sorry, I'm gonna bring it up, but we hate that fucking show.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Oh, that's what Living in Space is?
Lost in Space.
Oh, Lost in Space. Okay,
Lost in-
my mom always said that, but I never really watched it.
Had-
I remember the robot, but do
Oh,
I?
But
Was
you
that
know what?
the one
Every
with
time we
Ruth
get play-
Buzzy and Jim Neighbors, where they were androids? Do you remember? You know what that is?
No, I know.
remember the
That's a
name of
different
it.
show.
Okay.
This was
I don't know.
about the
Oh,
space.
Smith was the guy.
Yes,
named
Will
Smith?
Smith. And
Will
he was
Smith?
he was like the like they couldn't
Have no fear, Smith is here,
yeah,
right?
they couldn't say that he was Jewish, but he personified like everything that
He was a
people
bad
have
Jew.
stereotyped as Jews. And he's like, like he'd give up somebody like, yes, turn him in and we can all go free, turn him in. He was just awful. It was just awful. So, but it
His
does
name
have
was
a
like
place.
Smithstein.
Yes, they didn't say it, but that was what was implied. But you know what you did remind me of? That show reminded me of one of my favorites, which I didn't have on my list, The Twilight Zone.
So
Twilight Zone was
you
good.
redeemed
That was
yourself.
awesome.
And Star Trek.
That's on my
That
list.
was
That was the
so
first one.
good.
Star Trek.
Really?
I
loved it
Star
too.
Trek, the original with William Shatner. I watched it with my mom, and
okay.
that's how I became a Trekkie. And I went to the Star Trek conventions, and
You did?
I did.
Holy shit.
And I met Chekhov, and I met I didn't meet I met Chekhov on an elevator.
I don't
I
know
got
who
his
Chekhov is.
autograph.
Who is that?
Yeah, I know. I'm not in.
He's the guy who ran the console of the ship.
You mean the continent? Isn't that Sulu?
The board.
He was the Russian Sulu, the guy that spoke like oh Captain do. So, but
Scotty? That was Scotty.
no, that's Scotty's the Scottish one.
Okay.
But I did see William Shatner at the convention, but I didn't meet him. And now I'm watching it with Michael because I didn't get to see it originally. Boston Legal. Has anyone watched
I never
that?
saw it.
It's amazing. I love it. I'm watching it on Netflix. Netflix?
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
I don't know. We watched
Michael just puts things on and Bonnie does it.
No, Michael introduced it to me, and he knew I liked William Shatner, and I am in love with that show. And we're on season 4, I think. So, you know who's in it?
Who?
The one from, oh my God, what is her name? She had a show where she was an independent woman and a businesswoman, and she, not Martha Stewart. She looks like Martha Stewart. Michael, help me out. What's her name?
Please don't tell me it's so fucking. I don't even want to guess because it's gonna be
Oh
embarrassing.
my
I
God, I
don't
can't
know.
remember her name.
I was thinking Ozark, but I doubt you watched that.
Oh, Bill Hanson is saying My Three Sons. I actually never watched that.
Oh, I watched that. That
Oh
was
well,
good.
Bonnie loves Cheers.
I love Cheers. Cheers, I love. That's what I tried to make coasters into. I'm doing
Cheers?
my best to make
It's
posters
so
into
nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we've got Nancy Weems sang the Fonz.
That was so good. Happy Days.
My favorite Martian.
Joni loves Chachi.
Oh my god.
Oh, David Lang did say the Twilight Zone. Okay, yeah. So he actually said it before.
Oh,
I
who's
said
the
it.
boss? Was what
I love
Tori
Who's the
says.
Boss. And do you know the guy Tony Danza,
Yeah.
who was the star of that? He actually became a New York City school teacher because he wanted to give back. And so he took 2 years of his life and he became a high school teacher. And he was like, don't ever disrespect teachers after this. I was already a fan of his before that because I'm a school teacher.
But then when he advocated for teachers, you really fucking.
That sealed the deal.
That sealed the deal for me. He was awesome.
He had a talk show also in the daytime for
I
a
never
while.
saw it. I didn't see it. So David Lang is saying Star Trek was a classic, groundbreaking for its day. I think first interracial kiss on TV. That's right. He kissed
Whoa.
Lieutenant Uhura.
Uhura. She was a Uhura.
Yeah, that wasn't really nice to call her that. Jesus
That was a
Christ.
good one. She was the sex pot of the thing. And yes, I Oh, speaking of that, getting more up to date, The Walking
Speaking
Dead.
of sex
Oh
bots.
my
The
God.
Walking Dead, and
The first 8 seasons.
it's starting to jump the shark. but-
Starting.
Okay, I don't watch it anymore, but the first few seasons were amazing. But I forgot her name. She was the one with the swords.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Michonne.
Michonne.
Michonne. When she and Rick got together, I started getting up and clapping and applauding. I was so happy. And that was a big interracial couple that got together.
There were a lot of interracial couples on.
But I don't watch a lot of TV. So
on that show.
My dad's reminding me I love Lucy. Yeah, Dad, you missed the beginning. Michelle asked of the honeymooners. That was my mom's throw-in too. The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I never really watched any of the superhero stuff. I never.
Wonder Woman. I watched Wonder Woman with Linda Carter.
I watched the Wonder Years.
Great, also.
Oh my God, Winnie.
She was cute.
Oh, the Bionic Man. I remember the Bionic Man. Greatest American hero.
Oh, Baywatch. Of course, Greg would.
Baywatch. I never watched Baywatch. That was too stupid for me. Oh my God.
Bonnie doesn't like tits enough.
My boyfriend is saying now it would be, instead of Leave It to Beaver, my boyfriend's saying now it would be Leave It to Shave Beavers.
Well, Michael, you'll appreciate the line my dad always says. What was the dirtiest line on that show? Don't you think you were a little hard on the beaver last night?
I always get the line wrong, and I mess up the joke. Okay, so somebody said the Munsters.
I love
amazing.
the Munsters.
Oh, I'm getting the Munsters mixed up with the Addams
Family, amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you like better, Munsters or Addams Family?
Well, I don't know the Addams Family as well as I know the Munsters, but we are on Wednesday, so we have like an affinity for Wednesday, and wearing black.
I wear black all the time. I'm wearing black right now.
So Wednesday Addams, we do have an affinity for her, but so, I was raised by the Munsters.
I like them both.
I love them both. I couldn't even say.
You can choose.
There's so many.
Who would you rather sleep with? Okay, Lurch or Gomez?
Neither.
Or Uncle Fester.
No one.
Wait,
I take the fifth.
Wait a minute. I need to.
Come on, you have to pick one.
Well,
oh my God,
I would like Herman if I gotta fuck anybody.
Everybody's giving so many. All the viewers are telling us so many different shows. I can't keep up with everybody.
Share the show, guys. We only have a couple more minutes.
Oh yeah, could everybody please share the show?
Please share the show.
Press the share button right now and share it with everybody.
Taz says Roadrunner, Foghorn Leghorn.
Where are we supposed to look?
That goes back to the best. Oh yeah, this is you. Did we not tell you that?
No, I didn't know. You said this is what you look like on camera. I'm like, okay, but then I wasn't sure where I was supposed to look.
You look there. But honestly, I'm supposed to be looking here, but I look at Bonnie like this. I like getting closer.
Lou Prax, how are you, Lou?
Hi, Lou.
I do like Roadrunner, Foghorn, Leghorn, Wile E. Coyote. All that shit is just like, that raised it.
I barely got to my.
What about like Magilla Gorilla and stuff? Those were good.
Magilla Gorilla for sale.
I remember that.
Hanna-Barbera.
It's the same guys who did the Flintstones.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's.
I just don't know that one.
And Michael, my boyfriend said Lurch was also It. Oh, It with the hand?
No, it was with the
with the hair.
Oh,
cousin
okay.
It was a cousin.
And they're throwing everything at us. Taz is talking about Columbo. Ed is talking about Greatest American Hero.
What about the worst show you ever saw? Like, what would you say is the absolute?
Oh my God, the Gilmore Girls, hands down.
Which is the Gilmore Girls?
The one that they like only. It's a mom and a daughter, and like all they talk is in 2 sentences. She'll be like, boy, cute, blonde, high school, first kiss. It's the most obnoxious dialogue I've ever listened to in my entire life. I'd rather, I can't even think right now about what I'd rather do than watch the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, that was
like deplorable things.
Oh, finally, I do see Jim is watching. He said, Sunday, All in the Family. Then One Day at a Time. Then
he's got the TV guide. All right,
then Alice Mondays. That's
incredible. Alice was good.
I remember that. Then then he's a big football player, so he likes football.
Oh,
Happy Days, Shirley. Wednesday, 8 is Enough. Oh, I forgot about 8 is Enough.
Dykes Enough was great.
Tyler Moore. Mary Tyler Moore. We already said that. You
know what?
Lose points for fucking not listening.
There was a show that I named my daughter Alexis after.
Oh, Carrington? Alexis from
Yes, from
Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Well, and Brandon is
And Brandon-
90210.
90210.
90210, best.
I love
I
90210.
loved it. I wrote it right
I
here.
named
Oh my God,
Brandon
Saved by
after
the
that.
Bell. If we want to
That was
ask me
good.
another one, yeah, go ahead. Or if
Oh, a
I'm just
bad
gonna
one?
throw one out.
A bad one or a good one?
No, I love
Saved
Saved by the Bell. Are you
it
kidding?
was so bad that it was good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you kidding?
I love
Dawson's. Oh,
90210.
those damn Dawson River Kids. That was another one that was so bad. It was.
I'll agree with that.
Good.
You know, there was another show that was horrible. It was these kids. It was called Party of Five. It was like Party of Misery, and every week there was like some other horrible story that happened to them. It was awful.
Oh my!
I was
Oh,
afraid of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Corey is saying Pee Wee's Playhouse. Don't we have Pee Wee?
wait a minute.
Pee Wee is our mascot, by the way.
There was, oh, look
He's
at
the
Pee Wee.
mascot of this show. I love Pee Wee's Playhouse. That
My cousin
Good
visited
one.
and asked where he was.
That was
He's
Corey
been on-
Marie.
Yeah, that's Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you. We needed that.
Yeah,
We needed
Mr.
that.
Belvedere. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I
one.
remember that. He was the butler.
I know.
Remember there's a show Benson,
Yes, I do
Robert
remember
Gill.
that show.
Barney Miller, which I think they should remake it as a modern Barney Miller, and I would love to cast comedians in.
Oh,
the
that would
roles
be
of
awesome.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. Name the worst show you ever watched.
Yeah, too late. Ed, fucking get with the lag, Ed.
I'm trying to think of the worst show I ever watched. I can't watch the new Saturday Night Lives.
Oh,
They're
that's
just so
just
bad.
hating. It's a hate fest, that show.
Um,
yeah.
There's some good scenes within the whole hour.
No, you
and a
could
half.
watch it on YouTube where you watch just the
Yeah,
best
I
of,
can't
but
watch
the
it.
hour, it's a long hour.
Yeah, but I want to get this back to Michelle for a minute
Yeah, because we got 7 minutes.
because
we
I
have
saw
7 minutes
you.
left?
Yeah.
I
That's so
literally
fast.
was walking through Governor's Comedy Club with Kristen Tinsley and Esther Forrester and a
Wow.
whole bunch of girls.
Love that.
We had performed in the little room. We were about to leave, and I saw you on the monitor. You were hosting for somebody from Saturday Night Live,
Jay Moore.
Jay Moore.
I love Jay
And
Moore.
the owner of Governor's, I looked up, I saw you, and I go, oh, I love Michelle. And he goes, do you want to go in and see the show? Like, I'll pay for all your drinks and everything will be covered.
He's so
And I looked
nice.
at Kristen and we were like, yeah, like so.
Are we
So we
breathing?
came in there, and we saw you host the show with him.
He was
Tell us
so
about
nice.
that.
I have to say that I actually became friendly with him. Not, too friendly, but friendly. Like, he was just so not sexually
Not
friendly.
friendly.
He was so
He has
nice.
to grab his own
He's
crotch.
so funny. He does so many
How
things
friendly
besides
did you get
comedy.
with him?
No, not that kind of
Just
friendly.
tell us.
But he was great, and I followed him for a long time. I followed his stand-up where he had some really funny jokes in his stand-up that I loved, and when he was on SNL, and he was like kind of a junior member of SNL, and I asked him so many, because for me, my dream since I'm a child would be to be on SNL. That was like beyond. And I asked him about it, and I said, what happened when you auditioned for that? And he said, I had no fear because I thought there would never, ever be a chance. There was no chance it would happen. So he just went for it. And I think that with comedy and anything else, the funnier things happen when you don't give a crap and you're just saying,
Right,
that's when you
exactly.
got something organic and the audience can watch
Because
something
it's
real.
real. You're being
Right.
real.
I've figured out how to end jokes by not ending on a laugh and then saying something and it hit and then going, oh, that's how I finished that joke because that gets the laugh. And I went out there with an unfinished joke, and then the awkward and the pressure of having to say something funny actually worked, and then I'm like, oh, that's the joke now. Finished it up.
End it right there, yeah.
So
End on a laugh, end on a high note.
So-
Go ahead.
Ed is saying that Jay Moore does hysterical impressions. Honestly,
He's
I
hysterical.
I hate to admit this, but I had no idea who Jay Moore is. I just wanted to see you. I had no idea
Oh
who
my
he
God,
was. And-
he's amazing. He was
And he
he's
was
such a
very
great
funny,
person
but
too.
what my impression that night was he said a lot of bad things about relationships.
Well,
Like-
he just come out of a breakup because
it
his special
showed.
before that,
It
his special
showed.
before that was about him and his wife and their amazing marriage.
So then he
So
had to write a whole
he-
new thing about how
He tells it the way it is, and I find that interesting. I also got to.
I liked it, but I was just like, whoa.
Well, that's life.
This
I mean,
guy, something's going on with him. right now because he is anti,
He's anti-relationship. But what's funny
relationship.
is he's a life coach.
Really?
Yeah, he's also a life coach.
That's really comforting.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy, but just
No,
someone who hates
he's-
women
He
should
doesn't
really
hate
bring
women.
him in.
He doesn't hate women. He's
But hates
lovely.
relationship
No, he was
I guess he was
specifically
in
talking
a
about
hard spot.
his relationship that he
with
came out
this
of. And
particular bit.
he was beyond
he was
lovely
going-
and gracious.
He was going
and
through
amazing.
a hard patch, probably. And honestly,
Who doesn't have?
absolutely.
And who hasn't gone through that?
And-
Oh
and
yeah,
that's-
you're
and
not
that's
a
what
real
comedy
person.
is for, right?
Right, exactly. That's why we all got
And
into
that's
it.
why
I
it's
think.
funny. It was raw emotion, and that's what makes it funny and
David
relatable.
Lang, thank you. He said, "Don't forget the big announcement." I'm going to say the big announcement right now.
Let's do it. Yes,
ready?
thank
Are you
you,
ready?
David Lang, for the.
Thank
You
you,
get
David.
extra points.
Because after I drink, I forget what I'm doing and I forget what I'm talking about. So thank you. All right, the big announcement is that after the show, Mandy, me, Pee Wee, and Michelle are going to have a big pillow fight. And we are deciding whether we want to film it or not. And we want you to vote right now. Should we film it? And who do you think the winner is going to be? Do you think the winner is going to be Mandy, Pee Wee, me, or Michelle? So the big announcement is pillow fight tonight. And that's the big announcement.
There can only be one Highlander. Michelle, tell us
Jim
again.
goes, Bonnie is pregnant.
Fuck you, Jim. Michelle, tell us where they can find you on the
That's
internet. What you're
hilarious.
up to next?
Yes. Tell us
what?
your handle and
Tell
all
us
that.
everything.
Okay, so please follow me on Twitter. No, you can follow me on Twitter, Michele Fox Comedian. You could follow me on Instagram.
Michelle
same.
with one L, which just like next to her head on the beautiful screen there. Michelle.
MICHELEFOX Comedian. You could follow me on Facebook. It would be Michele Fox Zaremski, or on my fan page, Michele Fox Comedian as well.
Zaremski, spell that.
Okay, just do Michele Fox, and then you'll see me with the. You could start with
But
the Z.
we'll share her shit, and so you guys can easily.
Your dad just called you Scrappy.
I don't know. Who do you think would win in a pillow? I think two people might team up, and then the other third one's
I
dead.
think you're saying you'd win because you're Scrappy.
Yeah. Don't underestimate me.
Yeah, believe me, I've got a lot of hidden anger that would come out.
We have a lot of unleashed anger. We have a lot of unresolved trauma. So
We do.
This fight can go anywhere.
Wait, I also have a web page. My web page is also Michele Fox Comedian.
Okay,
So,
Michele Fox Comedian.
that's
All
where you
right,
can
and
find that
I
show.
will share all this to the Wildflowers page so everyone can easily find you.
Please share the show right now if you
Yes,
haven't done
please,
so.
Please
share it.
It
The more
helps.
shares, the better it is for all of us.
As Nancy always says, sharing is caring.
Andrew said we should most definitely film it.
All right,
We'll-
we'll film it. You guys take bets. We're definitely gonna stand up, not for Ed, but we will take pictures before we
I gotta
leave.
show my shoes.
Oh yeah! Oh, that was a whole. Look at this.
No, you
Wait,
can't take a shot.
Wait, we're gonna get her on her own.
Get her on her own.
Zach, let's hit it. All right,
All right,
let's see
now-
it, girl.
Now lift
All
up
right,
your
and
leg.
the boa and the leg at the same time. Come on,
I don't know.
make me.
all
Come
right,
on, put a show on.
Woo!
I went all out for you guys.
Michelle, you were the best
I
guest.
love you
You
guys.
were very
love
sweet.
you.
You
I
were
love
great.
you guys.
When the
Thank
hour
you.
when the hour goes fast, we know it's a fun one.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me, girls.
We'll have you back. We have rounds to make, but we'll have you back for sure.
Andrew is saying, is there any way to share the pillow fight? LOL.
We will definitely
Ed
get you
wants
guys
more
a link.
like.
We will get you a link. We will get you
Thank
guys
you,
a link.
Taz. Thank you. Greg
Anything-
says he's in love.
Okay. Any final sign-offs for you?
We're
miss?
getting a lot of loves and hearts and
I
likes.
don't have a lot, but come out when comedy comes back and open. Come out and support all the comedians. I'm going to be hosting on Mondays at One Eye Jack's. I'm going to be hosting an open mic. I think it's 7:30.
I used to go that when Steven
Come.
posted it.
Stephen Perillo has been really.
Oh yeah, I like
He's
Steven.
been putting it
Steven's
out
a
there.
funny
He's
He's
been
guy.
keeping the industry alive during
Steven's
this.
awesome.
I love Stephen, so thank you to Stephen Perillo. Come to the open mic. Come hang out with me at the open mic. And, it's serious and do your thing. Also, come out and support comedy. Come for everybody, It's been really hard for all the comedians and for all the people. And You know?
Yeah, whether you need it to tell jokes or you need to hear jokes, we all need laughter right now.
Need it.
We
Definitely
need it.
need it.
So, we'll get you Michelle's information. Find her on the interwebs. Bonnie, you have anything else you want to say to these lovely people?
Bill Hansen is saying, great show, girls.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
Bill. Thank you, Zach, for running the board tonight. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
You're awesome.
And,
of course, Jim Ray ends with vote Trump.
yeah, of course, Jim.
Oh, let's take our lollipops.
Cheers.
Everybody, cheers.
Let's make a wish. Everybody has to make a wish, but keep it to yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
We
don't
love
know
you
what my
guys.
wish is.
Get home safe. Keep coming back. We love you. Be good. That's the show.
It's a really good
And
lollipop. It
broadcast.
tastes good, though.
It's good.
Mine tastes
Why do you have
banana-ish
3 of them?
because I have like